Hi, welcome back to Real World Magic. Now, you may not have been here before, but you are here now, and the reason is that the law of attraction isn't working for you. Now, that's a little bit strange because you're probably being told all the time that the law of attraction does work. And I'm going to tell you again, it does work, but there's a reason why it isn't working. So what is that reason? Now, the weird thing about the law of attraction is that there are rules to it. Now, you probably know some of them, but if it's not working for you, you're ignoring a massive part of it. And there's a very good reason for that because it's not your fault. So let's get into those reasons right after this. Hi there, welcome back to Real World Magic, where we make your life more magical. My name is Neil, I'm going to be your magical host, and in today's video we're talking about the law of attraction and why it's not working for you at the moment, and it's not your fault. So we have to work out what it is that is being taught out there and the actual reality as to how to actually do all this stuff. Now, before we get into anything, I'm going to tell you up front, and I'm hopefully going to be as honest as I possibly can about this. You cannot break the laws of physics. It's impossible. So I don't care whether anyone else tells you it is possible, or that you believe it's possible, or that you've read it's possible, or that you've seen a YouTube video or a how-to article to break the laws of physics, to make objects fly. It's not going to happen. So let's just get that out of the way right now. You're not suddenly going to be able to fly. You're not going to be able to walk through walls. It's just not possible. So with that in mind, let's talk about the law of attraction. Kind of, what is it? How do you manifest stuff? And how can you actually do this? Why is it that you're failing these sorts of things? So let's get into that right now. First things first is I want to talk about what is manifestation. Now, to me, manifestation is not magic, not really. Now, the reason I've called this channel Real World Magic is because I do believe that magical effects can start happening. You can actually make magical effects. Now, this isn't all about illusion and effects as in it's fake. I don't want you thinking that, because real world magic is still magic. It's just got an explanation for it. Now, the only way that you can really do magic is almost to take away the idea that it is magic and start to explain physically, how can you do this? Because if it's against the laws of physics, it's impossible. So does magic really exist? Well, to me, I think it does. But if we're going to go into sort of what manifestation is, we need some sort of explanation for it. And I think this is where the problem comes. So with all of this stuff, it's really about terminology and whether or not you believe that the certain word of magic is more important than actually doing it. If for you it is, and you want to break the laws of physics and you want to go off into this little fantasy land where all these wonderful things are possible, then fine. I'm not going to stop you. I can't argue with you. You're going to be deluding yourself and you're going to be wasting your time. But if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Navigate away. I'll just wait. I'll see you leave. Okay, well, you're still here, so that's cool. So if you're like me, you don't really think that the word magic is as important as actually doing it, then let's work out how to do it. So what is manifestation? Manifestation is purely the idea that you get something in your head and you want to create it, and then you go about creating it. That's all it is, and that in itself doesn't break the laws of physics. Now, if suddenly you want to manifest a white rabbit to sit on your desk, you can do that by going out and buying a rabbit, but you can't do it by waving a magic wand and pointing at your desk. So if you want to break the laws of physics there, it's not going to work. Of course, buying a rabbit isn't particularly magical, but you can manifest it in a number of different ways. Now, the weird thing about manifestation, I believe, is that it's all based on psychology. In fact, all of magic really is based on psychology. I could probably boil this whole channel down to your unconscious mind and how it works, but that isn't quite as exciting as calling it real world magic. So for me, it's all about terminology, it's all about psychology. What does that actually mean and how do you do it? So if you want to conjure something, it doesn't really matter what it is. You could say it's a white rabbit, you could say it's a sports car, you could say it's a nice house, you could say it's perfect love and a wonderful relationship with any man, woman, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. All you need to do is to think about it positively. Now I'm going to put a word just up here. What does that say? Read it out loud. Now, you may have seen two different versions of this. You may have seen this one, or you may have seen this one. So you could say happiness is nowhere, a bit bleak, or happiness is now here. I think that's a bit better. Both exist within this, and it really depends on what you look for as to what you see. And this is the same with reality. Now, one thing that I really want to get across in this video is that if you want something, then you'll get it. And that doesn't necessarily mean if you want something, then you'll be happy. Doesn't necessarily mean that at all. It means that if you want something, then you'll get it. If you expect something, you would rather be right than happy. Okay, so let me explain that one because a lot of people probably won't understand what on earth I'm talking about. If you expect to be miserable, you'd rather be right than happy. Because if you expect to be miserable, you'll be miserable. You'll look for all the different things around you that support that view of the world that you're already miserable. I'm miserable, therefore people react to me like this. And your own actions will make them react to you like that. And so your preconceptions of you being miserable are going to be backed up by other people around you making you miserable, other events around you making you miserable. I was talking about this at length yesterday to a whole load of different people, and various examples came up. So let's say you want to be rich. You see a pound on the floor, or a dollar, whatever. You buy a scratch card because you think, I'm going to be rich. And you scratch that off and you win. Now, of course, you might not win. There's always that possibility, I don't know. But if you're negative and you think, oh, I'm never going to win, you might not even see that dollar or that pound to begin with. And then if you do, you might think, I'm totally skint, I'm totally broke. I'm going to keep that because I'm going to hold on to it. Well, that little pound, that piece of paper or metal, doesn't really mean anything. It's not value. It doesn't have any intrinsic value. In fact, the US and the UK Mint will both lose money just by printing money. I know it sounds weird, but that piece of thing doesn't have any value. Money doesn't really have any value. The only value it ever has is when it changes from person to person. And this is the thing about the law of attraction. When you give something, it's like a promise. This is a promissory note. In fact, if you read any note, it says, I promise to pay the bearer on demand, blah, blah, blah. What that means is that it's a promissory note. It means that you give a promise, and that's all it is. Now, the reason that that's important is because when you're handing something over, that's when the value happens. So if you're thinking, I'm going to be really wealthy, really happy, I'm going to give a promise out and I'm going to get one back, that's when you start getting money. So I'm not telling you to spend all your money. In the past, I misinterpreted this. So I was in Stockholm doing a bit of lecturing, and I was, 28, 29, something like that. I didn't have any money at all. Like, maybe I had £3, something like that. And I thought, well, it's not going to make any difference to whether or not I'm going to be rich as to whether or not I'm going to spend this money. So I may as well, I'm going to get more. And as soon as I spent it and took that positive action, me going out to that shop introduced me to my next client. I then had £200 in my bank account by the end of the day. That was pretty cool. But had I not decided definitively, I'm going to leave the hotel, I'm going to go out of the hotel, go down the road to the 7-Eleven, spend the last dregs of money that I've got. Now, I'm not telling you to spend all your money. That would be ridiculous. But I am telling you to have a positive mindset and to take positive action. So the first step really is to have a positive mindset. Believe that you're going to be happy, because you would rather be right than happy. And so if you'd rather be right than happy, wouldn't you rather be right and happy? Wouldn't you rather go, you know what, I want to be happy and I'm going to be happy, therefore I'm going to try everything I can to be right, and when I'm right, I'll be happy, as opposed to I'm going to be miserable and nothing's really working, the law of attraction is nonsense, and I'm going to try and make myself right, and when I'm right and achieve that rightness, I'm going to be miserable. That doesn't seem to make any sense to me. So the first thing is the positive mindset. The second thing is positive action. Without any kind of action at all, you're just going to be thinking positively and nothing's going to happen. You're just going to be sat in your bedroom going, yeah, I'm going to be happy, waiting for happiness to happen. And it's not going to. How can it? Again, you're breaking the laws of physics here. You can't expect that everything around you is going to change purely because you're sat in your room. You have to go out there, you have to experience the world. Now, that may not necessarily be, and especially with COVID, it may not be going out there into large crowds and starting to influence others. But you can influence others using social media, using the internet, streaming. You could talk to people, you could phone people. There's a whole load of different things that you can do to start influencing the world around you. You can make stuff, you can buy things, you can put things together, product packs, open a new online shop. There's tons of things that you can do, and it really depends on what you want to do and what you want to do with the law of attraction that will allow you to get what you're after. So what are the main obstacles to all of this? Clearly, lots of people around you are probably going to say the law of attraction is nonsense, and the reason being is that it doesn't work for them, and that's fine. If they think that it's not going to work for them, then it won't work for them. It's just not going to be possible to work. And the reason is that they would rather be right than happy. The problem is that if you start telling people this, they will really kick back against you, because they don't want it to be their fault, do they? No one wants to say, oh yeah, I'm responsible for my own actions. But let's face it, no one else is. No one else is responsible for you. Sure, you might have lost your job in the past, and that might be someone else's fault. It might be your fault, I don't know. It might be a whole cacophony of different things. But how did you react to it? Did you then sit in your room and sulk for 6 months, or did you go out there and get another job, and that second job was an awful lot better? I don't know. But I'll tell you something. Whenever anything bad happens to me, I always try to think of the positives. I always try to think of a way of changing all of that. So I'm doing a master's degree at the moment in Through Life Systems Engineering. And one of the main things in that is limiting the impact of negative events. So just take that into your life. Take that as an ideal, because it's a pretty basic one, really. Something bad happens and you turn it around to make it something good, if you can. If you can't, the next thing is contain it. So try to contain what it is that you're trying to do. If it's a bad thing that's happening, try to contain the effects of that. Try to convert it, if you possibly can, into something good. I'd much rather be happy than right. But since that's not how my brain works on being right, I'm going to make sure that I think that I'm going to be happy, so that then when I am right, I am happy. And so, boys and girls, that is the law of attraction in a nutshell. I know that's a pretty basic idea. I don't quite know how long this video is going to be. Let's see. But I just wanted to sort of say what manifestation is, how it's causing problems in most people's lives, it's not just you, and how to avoid a whole load of different things. So if people are being negative around you, there's a reason for it. It's because probably it doesn't work for them. Try to help them if you can. If it's not working for you, there's probably a reason for it, and it's probably because you're thinking negatively, at least in some sort of way. So try to be happy, try to be positive, try to expect that things are going to be good for you. and then you're going to start looking for different ways around it. The next thing is positive action. Learn things. Be curious about the world and about other people, and be genuine. Don't try to expect something for nothing, because it's just not going to happen. That's, again, breaking the laws of physics. You can't get something for nothing. So think about what you can trade, think about what you can do. Try to enhance yourself and enhance your life and enhance the life of others. And even if all of that fails to manifest what you really, really, really want, the world's going to be a better place anyway. So if you did enjoy this video, please click the like button, subscribe, ding that bell, and also comment down below. Tell everybody else what it is that you're trying to manifest and where the problems come in manifesting what it is that you want. Other people have been through this and they do want to help you. So I'll be back next time with some more magical awesomeness, and my elephant's going to explain a whole load about, subscribing and stuff like that. But until next time, as always,
Stay magical.
Hello! Remember to like this video, comment if you have anything interesting to say, subscribe and ding that bell to turn on notifications of next time Neil, goes live or uploads anything. You can also become a patron at Patreon or join as a member of this channel by clicking the link below that looks like this. Members get special benefits like a wizard apparition license, 10% off everything in the shop, and I'll even say hello to you by name on the live stream every Saturday night at 6 PM UK time. Membership starts at £1.99 per month. It's well worth it. You get loads of peanuts for that. That's all for now. See you soon.
Hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to Real World Magic. Now, if you haven't been here before, tough. So if you enjoyed this video, please do click a like. Click a like? What's click a like all about? It's ridiculous. So I'll be back next time with some more magical awesomeness. My elephant will explain all about... That sounds so weird.
Please subscribe to Real World Magic. While you're there, click the bell button to be notified of future uploads, and have a look at all of my social stuff. Remember to donate on Patreon if you really, really liked it, and I'll see you again next week.